Good morning, yogis. Happy Saturday. Great to see you this morning, yogis. Happy Saturday. Hello. We'll get started in a minute or two, probably a minute. We will use a prop in the second half of class. If you have a pillow or two, you can just grab pillows off your bed. Some way to support your torso so we can do the yin postures in the second half of practice. The first half of practice, we'll do 3 yang sequences. We'll do each sequence 3 times. The first time we'll do it fairly slowly as I talk through, and then we'll repeat it the second and third time for flow. The third sequence, last week I offered an entirely hands-free class. And you're welcome to do that same class if you remember that sequence, and I'll even demonstrate that sequence, the third one, hands-free. But this week I'm going to offer that sequence in its full form, where it takes downward dog into some lunges where we will use our hands. But you can take the hands-free option if that's in your practice today. Let's get started, yogis. We'll have a seat to begin, and you're welcome to sit on your bolster or the pillow that you found. We'll take just the first few moments of our practice to tune our attention to the breath. Your hands can be in your lap, maybe palm to palm, facing upward. They can be on your knees or in any comfortable position, but send some energy up the spine. Close your eyes and begin to visualize your breath. Become aware of the rhythm of your breathing. You're welcome to begin with just noticing how you're breathing this morning without changing it. However, the paradox of noticing something immediately affects the thing you're noticing. So you may notice the breath rhythm deepen, lengthen. If you know Ujjayi breath, yoga breath, you're welcome to introduce that in. It's a more full use of the breathing mechanism. You take air in and out through the nose. However you're breathing, you're allowing your mind, all your mental energy to focus on the breath. On your next exhale, bring your hands together at the center of your chest and rub your hands vigorously. We'll rub our palms for about a minute or so to generate heat. Then release your hands and shake your hands out. A vigorous shake of your hands. As you shake your hands, you can blink your eyes open. And we'll move on to our backs for just a moment. Placing the feet on the floor with the knees up toward the sky. And reconnect to your breath, whether you're taking a big full yoga breath or just maintaining a natural, easy breath. Let your mind focus on the breath and allow the weight of your body to settle into the floor. Heavy hips, heavy ribs, heavy head. Using strong feet, your hands can be placed beside your hips, palms down. Inhale, lift the hips high. Exhale, guide the hips back down. Inhale, hips lift. Exhale, hips lower. Continue moving your hips up and down at the rhythm of your breath. One more time, up and down. Inhale and exhale. Bring your hands to your knees, or you can hook your forearms around the knees. The knees can be together or apart. You're allowing your tailbone to round up a little bit and allowing your femurs to fold in. Keep your right knee extend the left leg long. Keeping your attention on the breath. As you exhale, change legs. And bring both knees to your chest once again. We'll bring a little heat into our core. Inhale and exhale, lift your head, neck, and shoulders. So we're thinking of gathering and expanding energy from the navel outward. Start with an inhale as you reach. Exhale as you gather. Inhale, reach. Exhale, round. Inhale, reach. You're moving from the center like a starfish. Continue, 2 more. Last one. Hug your knees. All right, one last back lying pose here. Extend your arms out to the side, and I'm going to turn to the side for demonstration. Your knees and hips are at 90-degree angles. If you want a more advanced variation, you can extend the knees. Your shoulders stay square on the floor. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Move your knees over to the right toward 2 o'clock. Left shoulder stays square to the floor. Exhale as you bring the knees back to vertical to 12 o'clock. Move the knees over to the left. Both knees are squeezing together. They're not shearing forward and back. And exhale, return to 12 o'clock. Inhale, go to 2 o'clock to the right. Exhale, back to 12. Inhale, 10 o'clock, left. Exhale, 12. Try 2 more on each side. Maybe going a little further, closer to 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. Last time, each side. Really engage the inner thighs and keep a strong connection through the shoulders to the floor. And when you return to center, hug your knees. We're transitioning to standing yogis. You can roll to one side, or you can rock forward and back, creating momentum as you come up to standing. Preparing for the first sequence, Golden Seed. This is the first of 3 sequences. We'll do this one 3 times. Begin by just rubbing your hands together just a little bit. There's a chakra, an energy center in the palm that's important as we use our hands to connect to the energy of the space around us. This is sort of an imaginary field of energy that we push and pull through the palms into our body. Squeeze your hands tightly and then stretch them out. There's some strength in your legs here, a little bend in the knees, some pliability in the joints. Squeeze and stretch the hands. You might take them out to the side a little. You might change the dynamic, flicking the fingers out, squeezing the fingers tightly in, activating the muscles of your hands. Then bring your hands together right in the front of your pelvis. The energy of our body lives in the low dantian and then spreads throughout the body. Close your eyes and try to visualize a ball of energy in the center of your pelvis. There's a similar ball of energy that you've created between your hands. You might feel the palms connected to one another. As we begin to move, imagine that you're moving the energy of the air molecules around you. Reach your arms above head, gathering. Then turn your toes out as you press. Dive forward, toes returning to the front. Turn your right toe out, rotate your spine to the left. Arm lifts. And then close, other side. Turn right toes in, left toes out, and open up, rotating the spine to the right. Close. Toes forward. Gather the energy, palms up from the floor to the pelvis, and then flip the palms, press up to the sky. Dive forward. Drop your hips, flex the knees, and sweep your arms up, rocking horse. Dive forward again, drinking bird. You're reaching way forward with the crown of your head. Palms of the hands down. Draw energy from the earth all the way up through the body, unfurling the spine, and then press the energy back down into the center. You feel this gathering sensation into the dantian. Soft joints, but energy surging through the muscles. Round 2, gather. Turn the toes out, press. Fold. Toes adjust forward. Turn the right toe out, twist left. Close. Left toes out, twist right. Close. Toes forward. Palms up as you gather energy from the earth, pulling it into the body. Flip the palms, press up to sky. Drinking bird, dive forward. Drop your hips and rock your torso up. Dive forward again, reaching the crown way forward. Palms down as you gather energy from the earth. Into the body, it rises, and then press the energy, collecting it in the center of your body. Round 3. Sweep up. Press. Fold. Right toes out, twist left. Close. Left toes out, twist right. Keeping the breath rhythm flowing in a way that works for you. Gather energy. Invert the palms and press. Dive. Drop the pelvis. Flex the knees as you sweep torso up. Dive. gather, fill the body with energy, and exhale, collect the energy in the pelvis. So heel your feet together underneath you. Hands in front of the dantian. Your fingers may touch, or you can have a small space between the hands and imagine a filament of energy connecting the fingers. That imaginary energy between your palms reflects the energy we're creating in the pelvis. Round 2, warrior advance and retreat. We'll use the long edge of the mat now, or we'll start facing the short edge, I should say. On your left leg, your right leg will lift and the arms float out to the side. Let's start again so I have a little more space. The right leg lifts, arms float out to the side. Then you gather the energy in as you step the foot back, pivot on the balls of the feet to face the back of your mat and press left hand. That's 1. Then you gather and press right hand, 2. Gather, pushing, pull, and pulling energy through the palms and press 3. Retreat. You sweep the body low, then circle forward, high. Then step to the back of the mat. You're on the right foot. Option to just step the feet together or lift the left leg. And exhale, feet back to earth. Second side. Left leg lifts. The energy between your palms expands, and then you gather and press. Right hand. Gather and press. You can keep your torso up or press through the torso. Gather and press. Low retreat. High retreat. Step to the front of your mat, to the left foot. Hands to the low pelvis. That's round 1. Notice how mobile and dynamic your feet are, pivoting to the ball of the foot as needed, rotating the legs as needed. Let's do round 2. Right leg lifts. Gather and press. Gather and press, 2. Gather and press, 3. Low retreat. Circle to the right, high retreat. Step to your right foot. Reclaim energy. Round 2, or second side. Left leg lifts. Gather and press. Gather and press. Imagine the energy of your hands pressing thick air around you. Low retreat. High retreat. Step to your left foot, top of the mat. Hands to the dantian. Last round, right leg lifts. Expanding energy, gathering energy. Press. Gather and press. Gather and press. Low retreat. High retreat. Step to your right foot. Regather energy. Left leg. Gather and press. Gather and press. Third time. low retreat. High retreat. Step to your left foot. And plant the right foot. Hands to the dantian. Close your eyes. Picture the energy between your palms. And as you breathe, maybe you are beginning to notice the breath is connecting to the energy of the low dantian. As you breathe deeper, you're starting to breathe into that energy center. So we're going to take a small interlude before we take round 3, and I'll show a variation of round 3 that's hands-free. Sweep your right hand up, lift my right leg, and step it back to a lunge. Now as you step it back, you can float for a moment before landing, and then you sweep your arms up, sweep your arms down, come all the way around, sweep your arms down. One more time, bring your arms up, squeeze shoulders together, step your feet together, or sweep your left foot up. Left arm back, you take a twist. Come back up, and step the foot down. So I'll show that other side so you can familiarize. Sweep the left foot up, step it back to a lunge. Bring the torso up, extending the spine, and back forward. Take it all the way around, and hinge forward. Bring your body up, and squeeze your shoulders. Your tongue can stick out for dragon's breath. Now you stand up and sweep your arms forward. Then left hand comes to the knee as you rotate your body. Come back forward and replace the foot. So that's variation 1, that's hands-free. Variation 2, you can join me, and we'll still do 3 rounds. Here's round 1. Begins the same way as the variation. Sweep the arms forward, right leg lifts. Exhale, you land in a low lunge, hands to the floor. Open your left arm, twisting to the left. Lower your left hand. Step your left foot back, 3-legged dog. And step your left foot forward. Spin all the way around. Your hands come up, and you land in a lunge on the other side. Right hand opens. Close. Right foot steps back. Bring the right knee in and step your right foot under the body. Then belly up toward the sky. Bring your left hand down, bring your right foot up once again. Step it through to a lunge. Knee up or down in the back, dragon's breath. Inhale your torso, squeeze your shoulders as you exhale. Then we stand up, hands sweep up, and then exhale, hands come back to the dantian. As you finish, you can lift the leg once again or not. Second side. Left leg lifts. Land in a low lunge, and you can extend the leg before touching down. Right arm sweeps up. Exhale, close. Right leg opens. Exhale, step the right foot forward. Fly from one side to the other side, landing in a low lunge. Left hand lifts. Close. Left leg. Bring the knee to nose and step the left foot under the body, belly up toward the sky. Right hand lifts. Right hand down, left foot back to sky. And step the left foot forward. Knee up or down for dragon breath. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze shoulders. Stand up. Hands to the heart, or hands to the dantian, excuse me. Round 2, right leg lifts. Exhale, land in a low lunge. Left wing stretches up and lower. Left leg stretches back to a tail. Step the left foot through. Fly around the world. Landing in a low lunge. Right wing stretches. Close. Right leg stretches back like a tail. Bring it across the body, belly to sky. And right leg back to the sky. Step your right foot through. Knee up or down, dragon's breath. Squeeze shoulders, tongue out, exhale. Stand up. Regather energy. Left side. Land in a low lunge. Stretch your right wing. And right foot back, right tail. Bring your right foot forward. Spin around the world. Land in a low lunge. Left wing. Close. Left tail. Left foot comes under, belly to the sky. Left foot back to sky, tail, and step the left foot through. Dragon's breath. Stand up. Regather. Let's take an extra breath before we go into round 3. This is the pinnacle of our energetic flow. Finding the most yang energy, the most fiery energy, but also what we need. So modify as you need. I'll abbreviate my cues to wing and tail. Think about moving like a dragon where everything is connected through the body. Here we are, right leg. Land, dragon lunge. Left wing. Left tail. Step forward. Fly around the world. Land in a dragon lunge, other side, right wing. Right tail. Belly to sky. Back to right tail. Right foot forward, dragon's breath. Stand. Replace. Left. Dragon lunge. Right wing. Right tail. Step it forward, fly around the world. Left wing. Left tail. Under and through. Belly to sky. Left tail again. Dragon's breath. stand and replace. Hands to the low dantian, this low energy center. And maybe soften your knees, soften the joints of the body, and put your mind's eye on the breath, and then this swirl of energy from the pelvis through the torso. A flow of energy through the torso and through the limbs might be palpable. Part of it is blood flow, and you can feel the increased rate of blood flow, increased heart rate. But you might feel tingling or warmth in parts of the body. You might have awareness of parts of the body that were sort of blank spots in your awareness. Continue to breathe as you notice your breath rhythm changing, heart rhythm decelerating. Remain aware of your breath, or the energy in your body. All right, yogis, find the prop. A blanket, or a pillow, excuse me. One or two might be helpful. As we come down to the floor, we're moving into our yin practice. If the first side was to build heat and stir up the energy in the body, this allows the energy to settle and gives the muscles an extended opportunity to lengthen. We'll begin in a seated position with the legs in front of us. Your legs can just fall open to a comfortable position, whatever that is for you. We're going to put the blanket or the pillow under our belly, and that's a place for our belly to rest. You might notice that your knees need a prop as well, that's what I'm noticing. So I'll grab my blocks and I'll put one block under each knee. And you can adjust the flex of the knee to a comfortable position. You're trying to create a position in the body that you can sustain for multiple breaths. We'll be here for a minute or two. Now that we're moving from the yang part of our practice that prepares the muscles by bringing blood flow into those spaces, the yin part of our practice is as much of a mental practice as it is a physical practice. You put the body in its shape using the props that are appropriate for you. And then you commit to staying in that shape. You might feel a great urge to fidget. We're always mindful of the sensations in the body. If there's any sharp sensations, we want to move away from that. That could be potentially dangerous. But dull aches, muscular lengthening, joints opening, those dull aches, those are sustainable generally. So part of your work here is committing to the steadfast breath rhythm, a steadfast stillness in the body. And those two ideas, breath and body, that steadfastness creates a steadfastness in the mind, where the mind is less apt to wander. It's present in the experience of the pose. We have a few more breaths here. prepare to bring your body out of this shape. Set your props aside for a moment, and you might extend the legs and take any... Now is the opportunity for any fidgety movement that the body was wanting to do in the shape. And there's opportunity to improvise here. So if the body is wanting a little wiggle or a stretch in that direction or movement in a particular way, honor that. It might be a complete change of shape. You might want a downward dog or flow through vinyasa. Anything that your body is calling for. This is a great time for that. As you're improvising, though, the breath is with you. Let's prepare our next shape. And this one we'll do on one side and then on the other. The right leg stays bent, the left leg stays bent in front of you. The right leg, turn it upside down so it's kind of bent behind you in this figure 4 position, or double bent position. Then rotate your torso toward the left, toward the leg that's in front of you. And then start to recline your torso toward the floor, coming onto your pillows. You're deeply compressing the bottom joint, your bottom hip. So one side of your hip is folding over the other, and there's a deep crease at the femur. Your torso is starting to square toward the floor, so you might feel your right shoulder gradually sinking as you remain in this pose. Looking toward your right, toward the knees, is a little more accessible. If you're here for a few breaths and you're feeling comfortable and perhaps in need of a little more intensity, you can turn your gaze to the left. You're beginning in a shape that you can sustain for multiple breaths. You notice the urge to fidget, and you let that urge pass by, committing to steadfastness in the body. And the mind connecting to the breath helps to commit to steadfast mind. Notice where your mind goes. We're here for a few more breaths. While we're trying to clear the mind can't sustain a vacuum. We can't think about nothing. So we strive for a single point of focus. And the breath, for me, is an excellent starting place for achieving a single point of focus, something that occupies all of your mental energy, so it's less distracted by thought. Enjoy one more breath in and out. As you begin to come out of your shape, move slowly. Release the legs in front of you, and you can do any improvisational movement you like. But the one I really enjoy is Mermaid on the Beach. It's not an official name, that's just my unofficial title. On your elbows, letting the knees rock side to side. You'll feel some movement in your low back as you do this. If you're doing any other improvisational movement, take another breath or two with that. And as you're ready, begin to prepare for your second side. So the right leg is bent in front, the left leg is turned over and bent behind, or what will be behind you as you turn to the right. That's the next step. Begin to rotate the body to the right and move toward the floor, compressing your bottom hip, rotating your torso square toward the floor. You may look to the left toward the knees. That's the more accessible variation. It may be your beginning variation, and after 5 or 10 breaths, you may be able to look to the right. Notice where the mind goes. The work in yin postures, and I hesitate to use the word work, is quieting the mind so the body can find stillness and the mind can be still. We mentioned single point of focus as a way to quiet the mind. Quieting the mind may also involve the act of noticing, which is a similar gentle type of work. It's as gentle as a feather brushing a crystal glass. You notice that the mind is thinking about something, and you bring your attention back to the breath. And that habit of returning to the breath will repattern the mind to be less occupied with thought, which often is worry, anxiety, and more able to be quiet, honestly, just to be quiet and observe the present moment. Worry is future thinking. Regret is past thinking. So letting go of those attachments to future and past thinking, while difficult, can start with the breath as a place to quiet the mind. Enjoy another inhale. And begin to prepare the body to exit the pose, and you can move slowly. Sometimes the body feels achy, and as one of my colleagues at the yoga studio and favorite teachers, Indira, states, it might feel like you've aged 1,000 years in the few minutes we were in that pose. So be gentle as you come out. Knees can rock side to side in Mermaid or any other improvisational movement that suits you. The next couple shapes we'll take are designed to open up the upper body, first your spine and then your shoulders. I'll demonstrate this way, though you're welcome to use your mat long way. Actually, I'll show it first this way. We're setting up in, there's a couple variations I'll show. One is Sphinx pose, where you're on the forearms. You can use a pillow under the belly or under the ribs. A second variation I really like, if you have blocks, one tall and one short with the pillow on top. And that's another variation. A third variation, and this is the one I'll show to the front, sets all props aside, and you can leave your legs long. I just don't have the space behind me, so I'm bending my knees. Cross your arms and rest your chin on your biceps. And notice the palms of my hands, the palms of your hands, are facing toward your feet with the pinky toe edge down. The first two variations are more for the upper spine, opening up through the spine. Crocodile, the crossed arm variation, is more for your shoulders. So you might try one for 5 breaths, and then try the other. We're here for a minute or so. And if you're in crocodile, I'll cue you to change arms in a few breaths. Notice if you're holding your head, as I just was. Really allow the weight of your throat to rest on your arms. If you've taken crocodile, gently come out and change arms. If you took the Sphinx variation, you could do gentle movement for your neck, looking to the right, looking to the left, looking down, looking up, looking to the diagonals. Wherever you are, continue to breathe. If you're in Makarasana, crocodile, the weight of your upper body is still resting on the arms. And you might have changed variations. I offered a few options for you. Take another breath or two. And gently come out. I'll show this setup once facing the camera this way and then once facing the other way. This is going to open up your shoulders. Place a block or your pillow near to your right ear. Right arm extends out to the side. Left knee, the opposite knee bends. Roll toward the right, pinning the right shoulder underneath you, and the top foot finds the floor. I'll show that setup again to the side. I'll show the right side. So the pillow or bolster is near to your right ear. Your right arm is extended. Roll to the right, and the left foot finds the floor. The left foot can be in front or behind the body. Same thing with your left hand. It can be in front of the body, or you can slide your left hand behind the back. In this shape, you might feel intense sensation in the front of your right shoulder, that pectoral space. You can intensify by pressing your right palm downward into the floor. or maybe rotating the arm just slightly. Be very gentle with that bottom arm. It's pinned in a somewhat precarious position where you're opening up a muscle that's somewhat hard to get to, but one that's tight on most of us because of typing, cooking, maybe less driving right now, but those things where our arms in front of us create tension in the pec space. This is also a place where we carry emotional burden. Enjoy another breath or two. And gently come out, setting up your second side. Move your pillow or block over to the left. Extend the left arm. Roll to your left side. Right foot finds the floor. Behind or in front of the body. Same thing with the top arm. It can be in front of the body to support, or behind the body to intensify slightly. Visualize the breath coming into the space where you're feeling the most intense sensation. And notice how much work or effort is happening in the physical body. For the most part, you can relax the effort. The shape you've created allows gravity to do the work for you. So you can just maybe give your body, use the mind to give the physical cue to allow. Enjoy another inhale and an exhale. Finishing with a very light twist. If you have a block or pillow, you might put it to the right side of your mat. Lay on your right side, and now when I said the right side of the mat, that pillow is behind you. You'll need it behind you. So you're laying on the right side in a fetal position. Bring your left hand to the shoulder, bottom hand to the top knee, and roll back. And now you might have encountered that pillow or block. Now that's there to support you in this twist. However, if you don't need the pillow or block, you can set it aside and let that top shoulder rotate all the way toward the floor. As you do so, you've created a restraint with the bottom arm on the top leg. So you're holding the knees in place as you rotate your upper body. The hips are generally facing the side of your room. Your chest is rotating toward the ceiling of your room. Or maybe you're practicing outside on your deck and you can see the sky. But while we can see the sky, feel the earth underneath you supporting this pose, and breathe into the places that are earthbound. Committing to the breath rhythm. Still encouraging mental stillness by focusing on the breath. To resolve out of this pose, We'll come onto our back and roll right away to the left side, and you can adjust your pillow or your bolster if you found it was necessary. Right behind you, you're laying on the left side in the fetal position. Your bottom hand holds onto the top knee. Right hand is on the shoulder as you rotate open. Pillow or block is there to support you. And if you don't need it, set it aside and let your shoulders relax toward earth. Once you find the shape, allow the body to give in to the effect of gravity, noticing where you're connected to the floor, where gravity is pressing you downward and the floor provides resistance. Enjoy another breath. Then return to your back. Finishing on your back with one pose. That might be happy baby, holding onto the feet with the knees out to the side, or you can keep the feet together or just hug the knees. If there's another posture that would finish your practice just right, I encourage you to explore that pose or that shape. I also encourage you to remain in Shavasana for a few minutes. Consider a guided meditation, a self-guided meditation in which you visualize the breath. Inhale 1, exhale 2. I tend to cue the breath as a point of focus, a way to quiet the mind. I encourage that for you in your Shavasana. Have a great Saturday, a great weekend. If you have questions, please let me know. My name is Jeremy Blair. The music was offered by my colleague Carolyn Keeble. I'll see you again tomorrow at 10 or sometime later this week. Have a great weekend. Namaste.